What's going on YouTube? My name is Crazy Egg and welcome to the 10th episode of Nerd Talk. Today we're here with a really special guest. It is the second time we get a special guest on the show. If you want to introduce yourself, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, I'm Brian Donovan and I play Rock Lee on Naruto and Davis on Digimon, and I used to do all the Disney promos. Coming up next, and we'll be right back after these messages and all that stuff. I've been in the game for a long time, but I really appreciate you having me on the show and spending some time together. Thanks for being a fan of the show. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome. As I was saying before we started, Naruto has such a big variation of characters in that show. There's those hyper characters like yours, maybe Guy or those characters. There's the, I guess, darker character like Gaara or Sasuke, and there's all kind of characters. My first question for you is, if you didn't voice Rock Lee, who would you like to voice if you didn't voice Rock Lee at the start?
I probably Guy Sensei, because I just get a kick out of his delivery, Lee. I've always enjoyed, and maybe because our interaction is so much and I hear his voice the most, I suppose, obviously second to Naruto, but yeah, I mean, it's such a fun interaction and such an interesting voice that he chose, and it's very funny. It always makes me laugh when I hear him say Lee. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's hard for me to get away from that. But on the other side of the coin, to your point about me being like this hyper emotional character, it would be interesting to play like a Sasuke. Like, it'd be funny to like have you and I flip characters for a day or a recording and see what would happen, because it would be fun to play that darker shadow side, as opposed to the super hyper emotional, certainly I suspect I leave the booth and the recording sessions more exhausted than Yuri and because I mean, you bring a lot to Lee. You have to. I mean, he's such a roller coaster ride of emotions. So.
All right. So a question for my girlfriend now. She wanted to know, what is your most memorable moment while doing Naruto? Like, what's the moment that you stuck in your mind the most, that you recorded or maybe you had in the bag with your other voice actor cast? Or
yeah, that's a great question. My answer is very easy, because it was a remarkable moment for me, not only as playing the character in the show, but just as a human being. When the producers approached me, I mean, this is probably a few years into recording Naruto. It's probably, I'd say, the third or fourth year. And they asked me if I wouldn't mind having someone from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I don't know if you know that or your audience knows that, but basically Make-A-Wish Foundation is for typically terminally ill children. Not always terminally. I mean, they can, a lot of them turn the corner and very fortunately survive and beat their ailments, cancer or otherwise. But it's basically their wish. And a lot of them say they want to go to Disneyland, and a lot of them want to take a plane for the first time because they never have, or whatever it is. But this particular boy, I'm not going to name him to keep his privacy private, but he said he wanted to meet me and Miley Flanagan, who plays Naruto, and to come to Naruto and the recording, and come to Los Angeles to meet us and be there for the recording. And that was just a remarkable moment for me, just to be the recipient of that kind of wish, but also knowing how powerful the show was. I think it really made me realize how incredibly powerful the show is, and to people, and how, certainly now, 13 years later, I understand that, because I've talked to enough fans and enough people have told me, that it got them through some hard times, or being bullied in high school or grade school, and or just some periods in their lives where they really needed, Rock Lee and some other characters from Naruto to remind them that, they can, like with Rock Lee, just his perseverance, persistence, and hard work, and just pushing through these things that have been obstacles in their lives, But that Make-A-Wish Foundation, that experience was remarkable. And then after the studio session, I said, have you seen any Hollywood yet? And he said, no. And I was like, I'll take you around. So we left the studio and we went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And Yeah, it was awesome. We had a great day together, and but yeah, that was amazing. And I'm happy to report that he's still alive. So
Oh wow.
he was very fortunate, and it wasn't his last wish, so that's good.
That's definitely a life memory for the boy band, honestly, to have to spend a day with Naruto Rock with himself, right? Well, that's amazing, honestly. Damn. Well, thank you for doing that for the boy, of course. Yeah, I know what Make a Wish is. I see a lot of people on YouTube and especially I know The Rock is really he does a lot of those kind of things too. Like a lot of celebrity does that too. And I actually I'm happy that thing exists for again kids that have illness if they want to meet like actors who want to do activities. I think Disneyland's probably the perfect example for that wish. A lot of people want to go to Disneyland, and I understand why. I've personally never been there. I hope I can one day, but all right, that was really touching. Thanks for sharing that, Brian. All right, now I'm gonna ask you an easy question. What's your favorite Rock Lee moment? Like, you must have a moment from Rock Lee that you went, damn, I look good in that scene or something like that. What's your favorite Rock Lee moment?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, anybody that watches the show or is a fan of Rock Lee, I think my moment, certainly my top moment, is probably a lot of fans' top moment. I think with the fight with Gara. Was just it was phenomenal in so many ways. I mean, and as an actor, like I think the fans watching the show in real time while I was recording and watching the battle unfold and watching during the exams, just watching me drop the weights and just
that moment.
The whole, I mean, it was something special, and I think everyone knew that. I know that we did as a team, a production team, knew that it was super cool and super well written and super well. It was just stunning looking, and and just the weight of not only I think the weights in literally dropping in that weight, but also symbolically what that meant. Exactly. It was a remarkable moment, and I knew we were recording something special. It was also, I think, pivotal to the series, in the sense that that everybody that was on that journey so far, because that happened in like episode 48, 49, so it was very early on in the evolution of the story and the series. But I think at that point, anybody that was on the fence about Naruto and watching the series and committing to it was like, whoa, this is something crazy. And for a long time, that fight was in the top 10 of anime lore, and I don't know if it's still
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's considered still one of the top fights in anime. And so that was super special, and again, I think we all knew it, which is very different, because a lot of times when you do stuff or you're acting, you don't really know, if it's going to hit or connect with audience. And, but that one, you even when I was doing it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is pretty remarkable. So
I need to say my favorite moment from Lee, I have two. One of them has to be Drunken Lee, because I was taken right from the Drunken Master movie with Jackie Chan. I love that. So I remember when I was younger, when I first watched it, I didn't understand what was going on. Well, I went back to see it, and I was, I don't know if you ever saw the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Such a good movie, and Drunken Lee was probably my favorite moment. Of course, I love that girl fight, of course. And the second one has to be when he opens the 6th gate for the first time in the Ninja War, when he wants to help Guy when he opens the 8th gate. That's the first time we see Lee go to the 6th gate, and maybe one day we'll see him open the 7th gate, but that moment was really awesome too. Because, he was ready to do anything for Guy, and it was Guy's, moment, wish to die from them, which was, and then Rock Lee opens his gate, and it's like, I'm gonna do it for you and whatever, and that was an awesome moment for Rock Lee.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm, and I guess if I were to keep going down the list, same thing. I think the Drunken, that was probably the most fun I had recording Rock Lee. Because Mary Elizabeth, the director, was just she's like, yeah, let's do more, let's push it, let's just, and I don't drink at all, and so. So as an actor, I had to I had to pretend, that I was drunk, or even knew what, that would feel like, or how Rock Lee would act in that way. But it was awesome. And it was awesome, I think, just obviously to record and and for the show, but
Yeah.
also it was awesome because it was an homage to Jackie Chan, and Drunken, Fists, and so that was really cool because I'm a big fan of Jackie Chan, and then I mean, just I think with Rock Lee opening the Sixth Gate and doing it for Guy and willing to risk his life for Guy, just shows and was a nice climax or culmination of their relationship and the loyalty they had to each other. And a great lesson, like who, it does pose the question, like who would you die for? Who would you be willing to die for? And that's a big question, Yeah,
exactly, it is. Now, spoiler alert for people maybe that haven't been to the end of Shippuden or end of the war. What was your reaction? Because I know Tom told me that you guys, when you record something, you're like, as you're voicing the scene, you're just finding out what happened. You don't know. I don't know if you read a manga, but Tom told me he doesn't know. He goes to the studio, records it, and that's like he knows. What was your reaction first time hearing about the death of Neji? And that goes for my brother.
I was stunned, man. I think as Tom said, we don't really, and I haven't seen a lot of the episodes. I haven't seen a lot of the show because, we go in and they say, okay, this is what Rock Lee's arc is. This is what we're doing today. These are the lines. And so you don't often know what the rest of the show is happening, what the rest of the characters are up to. And you rely a lot on the director kind of filling you in or telling you context of the storyline at that point or where we're at. Because sometimes, as you know, some of the characters disappear for episodes and episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And as the series went on, Rock Lee disappeared a lot, and then all of a sudden he'd make this appearance. And but when Neji, I was blown away. Not only because I think like in any show when like one of the main characters dies, it happens more and more now. Because I think like in Game of Thrones, when Sean Bean died, right, in the first.
I mean, Sean Bean dies on everything, honestly, So
True. But it's just, I mean, I think it was like, oh, whoa, and so the same kind of like, whoa, a reaction in Naruto, and during that, it was like, wow, are we really going here? Like we're killing people, like we're killing main characters, like. That's next level, man. And so I think like everyone, I was as shocked. I kind of couldn't believe it, to be honest with you, because I just didn't realize that was going to be part of the show in that way, especially with some of these beloved characters.
Yeah, honestly, and even among the only 3 main characters that died during the Ninja War was Neji, and it was Hino's and Shikamaru's dad. That's like pretty much the character that died during. So Neji was like one of the only original, from the academy from the start of Naruto that died, which I was like, why is he the only one that died? And it was, for Naruto and, Hinata to, grow up the power, whatever the story. But
right,
I was shocked that the only character that died from that moment was Neji. And let's be honest, we maybe all hated Neji at the start of the show, but everybody started liking him, like, probably when they Sasuke retrieved the arc. Was there when he tried to retrieve Sasuke, and then the end of not the end of Naruto, but the end of the main story of Naruto. And that was probably in Naruto was Neji's dead, if I'm being honest, because I really love Neji, and I need to check Jiraiya's dead. I mean, I think that is probably the saddest death of Naruto. If I'm mind, I mean, Jiraiya's death was pretty deep in his final words too. And I don't know how you react to that, but that was really sad.
Yeah, that was, super sad, man. And but I love that you love Neji so much. Why do you think you love Neji so much?
Because, Neji started from not an asshole, but somebody that believed in destiny all the way in, right? He was like, destiny is all thing that matters. I don't care about whatever you say. Well, in Naruto, every time Naruto meets an enemy, he has the power of changing their hearts, right? They're changing how they think about, perspective about everything, whatever. And Naruto did that with Neji, of course, when they fought in Chunin exam, and that back then that was awesome. And Neji, from that point, they go and he tells Naruto, sometimes your eyes are better than me. And I'm like, damn, that's a strong line, because he has a Byakugan and whatever. And then move forward to Shippuden, Neji trains Hinata really hard, and Hinata becomes a lot harder because of that. And then the show moves on. He had a lot of fights, and his death is really important. He sacrificed himself for both Hinata and Naruto. And I think Neji has one of those characters that has great development during the show. Not much people probably liked him at the start of the show because he was that. No, I don't want to say asshole, but that guy that didn't care about anybody, just about destiny. And then Naruto changed that, and then he became one of my favorite characters from that point of view. And also, in all the video games I play, he's always overpowered. So in video games I play, he is always one of the best for some reason. So Rocket too, honestly. But no, yeah, I always enjoyed Neji, and I think the question was my brother's question because my brother's favorite character is Neji, and he wanted to know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
All right. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this. I don't think you know, but I want to know if you have any, maybe guessing. Okay, so Rocky has a son now, Metal B, which I really I love Metal B so much. Do you know personally? I don't know if you're allowed to answer this or not, but I'm just gonna ask you. Do you know who is Metal mother, or you don't know? And I'm pretty sure you asked that before, but.
Yeah. No, I people ask me a lot, and I'll tell you what I know and what I think. I don't know because they never unearthed it to me. What I think, and I would imagine most people think it's 10-10. But yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny. I have no idea. No one gave us the sealed envelope, if you will. But yeah, 10-10 would be my best guess. And I always loved 10-10. I mean, just as an actor, I don't, Rock Lee would never admit that, but but yeah, I always loved 10-10. I thought she was a really sweet character.
Yeah, she's unique because she doesn't have like any special jutsu, but man, she know how to use kunais and everything for sure, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's a different way. What's your favorite moment in Naruto? Not including Rock Lee, just like your favorite Naruto moment, but without Rock Lee in it.
Wow, that's a good question, and it's hard to answer because, like I said, we don't know a lot of the storylines that don't involve our own character because we're not involved in those recordings at all. But I think, like at least for me, what was intriguing is, kind of the reveal about Naruto and his storyline. I think because you're trying to figure out like, okay, what is this? Like where are we going? What is this journey? Why do we even care? Why are we watching? And I think once it was revealed of the journey that Naruto had to go on, that's interesting. I mean, that's the hero's journey, right? It's the classic hero's journey, I think that's and again, that's why the series was so well done, and also why it was so intriguing to watch. And then also I think like my opening my gates and like just these constant kind of the betterment of not I don't want to say character even though they're characters, but but representative of really what we're all trying to do as human beings, right? We all have these chakras, or if you will, this evolution that we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to be better, right? We're trying to constantly evolve and be better. And so I think with all the characters, and because the series lasted so long, we were able to go on this long. It's
still going forward too.
Yeah, exactly. So you're able to see this true real-time evolution of these characters. And again, like Tom said, there's a character for everyone in the show, and so you're all going on this journey, with these characters. And I think in general, I would say that's kind of the amazing thing about Naruto, and also the gift, because not all shows last that long, and so you don't have the luxury of going on this journey and this evolution with all these characters, and to see them, quite literally realize, their own, having kids, and that kind of thing. So that's pretty wild and unique.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the moments in Naruto that I think we all remember is when Rock Lee used the Healing Lotus on Gaara, and then after that was not able to walk properly, or Tsunade told him that he won't be able probably to be a ninja anymore. What was your reaction to that moment? Because, like, did you think in your head, oh, maybe I'm done roasting Rock Lee, he's not going to be able to do a ninja anymore, maybe he's going to die? Like, what was your reaction to that moment when he was, I know that's like way bad, but like, what was your reaction to that moment?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I wasn't sure, because I didn't watch, the original Naruto and the Japanese, original. So I didn't really know the storyline. And I don't think too many on the team did. I knew I wasn't getting phased out in that moment, but yeah, it crosses your mind. You're like,
Yeah.
Is Rock Lee done? Like, is he out of here? And even now as an audience person, when I see shows, like I always feel bad for the actor that's in like a hit show and they get killed off.
They get
like,
killed, yeah.
That was a crappy,
Sean Bean.
They're reading the script and they're like, oh wow, I die. Oh no, and so yeah, that realization. But fortunately, I never read on the script, Rock Lee dies. Rock Lee's hurt. Rock Lee's, got to rehabilitate, but never Rock Lee dies. So yeah, that helped. But it also, I think what makes Rock Lee such a lovable character is because of that journey that it takes, of healing and building himself back up, right? And again, I think, as I said, a lot of fans have reached out to me because of that and that perseverance that he had and the persistence to getting over these obstacles in his life. And so, yeah, I think that journey really set the precedent and the tone for who Rock Lee was, and also who the fans were that followed Rock Lee or favored Rock Lee, and relate to him in that way. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, because I think the way I think a lot of people can relate to Rock Lee maybe more than other characters, because Rocky is just a normal ninja. He doesn't have any chakra, so he just fights with taijutsu, which is a real thing in real life. And yes, he moves really fast. That's realistic, but his fighting style is realistic. That can happen in real life. I think a lot of people can go to Rock Lee and said, "I'm like that guy, right? I want to be the number one. I want to be stronger, and I can relate to Rock Lee because that's what he always does, and he wants to be." Like a guy said, a fundamental ninja, he can use ninjutsu or genjutsu or anything like that. So I think that's why Rock Lee is such a likable character. And I'm gonna say, like I said with Tom Chikamaru, I never saw somebody that told me they hated Rock Lee like somebody ever told me they hated Chikamaru. Like those two characters, I think, not only those two, but I rarely see people that comes to me like, I hate that character. I love Rock Lee. Right. So you're one of the characters that has like pretty like 99.9% of people watching Naruto likes.
Yeah, well, they might not like him, but they don't hate him.
Exactly. Yeah, nobody hates.
Yeah, because I know for sure that Rock Lee annoys people, but
probably
that comes with territory.
So I have two more questions for you. So Tom told me that when you guys go record your sections, you don't really meet the people that you're in a in the scene with, right? So like I think Japanese, is different. I saw some back behind the scene in Japanese, like the voice actors are together, but you guys just record your lines. You don't have to be with your chorus, or like you would be like Guy Sensei or Neji. Have you met in real life either the voice actor of a Guy, Neji, or Tenten in your last couple of years voicing Rock Lee?
No, if you can believe it, I have never met Guy Sensei in real life. I've never met Tenten in real life. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I met Miley probably the third year we were recording, who plays Naruto, obviously.
Was it during that expo you guys did? I think it was 2006, if I'm not mistaken, if that's possible.
No, we've never done a con together. Not a real one, not a live one. We've done like some virtual ones, but we've actually never done a con together, which is hard to believe. Yeah, I didn't meet Miley until I think the third or fourth season, which is amazing. I've never met Guy Sensei. Like, it's crazy to think that we recorded all these years, but but that Tom described it perfectly. I mean, you don't see anyone. You walk in, you have a scheduled time to go in the studio. You go into the studio. You might pass someone in the hall or the lobby.
Yeah, that's what Tom told me.
Yeah, but but it's super rare. Even that's rare. And so then you go in and you record with the engineer and the director if they're there, and maybe a producer. But it's amazing. It's super solitary. You're in the studio alone for a couple hours, and you're just.
And I'm pretty sure with COVID, I was even more, solitary.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
COVID
yeah.
out there.
We recorded from home. A lot of us. I
Oh, okay.
went to the studio a couple times, but yeah, a lot of stuff from home. From the home studio. So yeah, it's a wild thing, man. I mean, it's a very unique thing. So you're literally watching the show. You got your cans on. They're talking to you through your headphones, and they say, "All right, you ready?" And we'll preview what the action is and what the line is. And then they'll be like, "All right, you ready?" And I'll be like, "All right, let's do it." And then the next thing I know, I hear beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
And then I imagine you for the beep. You say the line. You try to do it to the flaps that you see, and then of course you got to act and be emotional, and so it's an interesting gig.
Yeah, because when Tom told me that he never met the voice actor of Joji, I was shocked. I was like, "There's no way." I think he told me he met it once.
Yeah.
That was during. I don't know when it was. He told me he met it once, but it's because it's crazy, and I understand you guys just have to do your lines, and I have to, like the Japanese, where they have to talk to each other to make the scene. You guys just literally just record your line, and then even if you're talking to each other, to get like guys, I think you just come after record his line, and they put it together, and that's the magic of how probably the voice thing works.
Yeah, it's really it's pretty wild.
My last question for you is, I got to Tom, and I really love Tom's answer, so I can't wait for your answer. So this is your personal answer. What do you think would be a perfect death for the character of Rock Lee now that he's in Boruto now?
The perfect death?
Yes, perfect death for Rock.
Probably choking on his noodles from his own noodle shop. Yeah, I mean, I can see Rock Lee, laying on the ground with a noodle coming out of his mouth, and whatever. Maybe, maybe he got drunk on some sake and who knows, man. But yeah, he's trying to do the drunken fist and relive that memory, and he's role playing and he's eating at the same time, and he's drunk, and next thing you know, like, he kicks himself in the face and he's laying on the ground with some noodles in his mouth. What did Tom say?
Tom said that that his line, I want to lay on the grass, watch the cloud, and that famous line from Shikamaru.
Oh yeah.
He go, how does it? He guys, I want to lay on the fields, look at a cloud, and because Shima wants to be a cloud, right? So sorry. Something I wish I was a cloud, just floating along, going whatever the breeze takes me. Life is such a drag. He says something like that. That's of course.
And then he dies.
Yeah, he dies. That was his perfect death scene. One last thing. Yesterday was my girlfriend's birthday, and I was wondering if you could maybe wish her happy birthday and a Rock Lee voice, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what's your name?
Her name's Annie.
Annie?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Annie, it's Rock Lee. Happy birthday. Leave Hurricane. Remember,
that's awesome.
Power of youth.
That's awesome.
Happy birthday, Annie.
Thank you. Really, really, really quick. How did you come up with the lead voice? Like, a quick answer. Like, how did you come with? Like, did the producer decide that, or did you decide that?
They because I worked on Digimon, and the same team, a lot of the same team was working on Naruto. They asked me if I would audition for Naruto and Rock Lee, and they were having trouble finding Rock Lee because of there was no contractions, and it was very like kind of stilted voice, and they're like, oh man, how do we make this guy funny and emotional and all this passion, but also talk without contractions and very proper.
Yeah.
And so it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really hard to find that where I could sound natural enough, and not bogged down by this proper way of speaking, because I don't speak that way at all. I mean, I got real slang.
Well, your voice kind of sounds a little bit already like you're not as much, but you can tell. Like, if I was seeing you on the street and I would hear your voice, I'd be like, wait, did I do it from somewhere? Maybe I wouldn't know right away, but I would recognize your voice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, the timbre and stuff is there. and the grovel and stuff. Like I didn't change the actual nature of my voice necessarily, you know, that voice quality of my voice.
Okay.
But the way I spoke with Rock Lee was different. And so yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, it wasn't yeah, it was an interesting development for sure. And it took a couple episodes. I mean, it took a lot of episodes, to be honest with you, where I felt like, oh, okay, I got this guy. Like I got speaks, and I can, you know, and I can speak it without, and we'd have to correct it a lot in the studio, you know, because sometimes the writer would forget that I don't contract, and we'd be like, oh, we'd have to rewrite lines, you know, where it's like cannot or all right, and, you know, whatever, and not contract anything. So yeah, anyway, but that was that. But listen, man, it was awesome meeting you, and thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Honestly, listen, again, it was an honor to meet you again. Last one was Tom. Now it's you. It's just the last 2 months, like your interview and my two for Tom are like literally the two. I don't want to say greatest moment in my life, but that sounds, you know, a little bit, you know, whatever. But it was a true honor. You know, I grew up watching you guys. Well, sorry, no watching you guys. Your voices in that show for what? I'm 20 now. For 14, 15 years now, or 16 years. And you know, it's just crazy to have you in front of me talking to you, interviewing me now. Like, you know, 50. If I told myself 15 years later I'm gonna have an interview with Tom Gibbons and Brian Donovan in the future, I won't believe myself, honestly. And it was a true honor to meet you. Thank you so much, and please keep doing what you do the best, which is voicing, of course, Riley at the moment. And hopefully we get to see more English Rock Lee, because I know you guys are, you know, a little behind the Japanese with COVID or whatever, and the Japanese a little ahead of you guys, but I can't wait to see more Rock Lee moments of the show. And of course your son too, which is, you know, the future of, you know, he's the next generation, of course. Yeah. Brian Donovan, thank you so much for coming on the Nerd Talk podcast. I really appreciate it. If you want to, when I have the link, I don't know if you did it, Tom did it, I can send you, so you can post on Instagram or whatever you want to do on your story or whatever. And thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. It was a true honor to meet you, and have a good day, and I can't wait to see more of Naruto of you.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you again, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your loyalty to the show, and also dreaming, dude. I mean, you know, that's exactly right. You know, it's like Rock Lee, he's all about dreams and realizing your dreams. Yeah. So, you know, I think it's a good lesson for you and everyone else, you know, your audience and your friends and fans that watch the show, and you know, don't forget to dream. You know, dream big and see what happens. You never know. Of course. But awesome to meet you, man. Take care, and wish your girlfriend a happy birthday for me.
Thank you. Wait, do you want to average her? She's right. Well, just you ran. Okay, well, never mind. Okay. Thank you.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye.
See you, man. Bye.
See you later. Nice meeting you.
Bye. You too.